Hello agents, and welcome to another daily episode of Targeted Loot. Today, your daily farming guide for Saturday, January 9th. In this series, we cover a lot. We got the Targeted Loot map, Dark Zone exclusives you could farm for, highlights from the weekly vendor resets, and build and farming suggestions as well. This is Shadow Gaming, and if you're new to this channel and enjoy this video, consider rating it with a thumbs up and pressing the subscribe button below, and if you didn't, a thumbs down. And remember to hit those bell notifications to all so you never miss a daily morning video. And of course, comment below if you have any questions or feedback whatsoever. Otherwise, let's get this video started. Alright agents, so starting off with the Dark Zones and vendor reset highlights, always in that big bottom left overlay that pops up right now. What I recommend this week is picking up the Rail Splitter with Perfect Accurate in the DZ South vendor for 152 DZ resources. And then over in DZ East, I highly recommend picking up the Claws Out holster that comes with 500% melee damage, 10% pistol damage, and is great on any shield build. Now over in DZ West, we got Walker Harrison Co. as Targeted Loot today. You could farm for that Matador backpack with Perfect Adrenaline Rush, which is going to give you almost 90% bonus armor when fully stacked. And that pairs great with the Intimidate talent on your chest piece and is a must-have backpack in this game for sure. Next up in DZ South, we got MMRs as Targeted Loot. So there is one Dark Zone exclusive MMR, and that's called the Pinprick, and it comes with Perfect First Blood. While I don't totally recommend picking this thing up, it might be worth it as a collectible. Otherwise, you got the exotics you could farm for, like the Nemesis and the Mantis. While the Mantis you could straight up farm for, same with the Nemesis, if you got the blueprint, from Grand Washington Hotel and crafted it at the White House and have already done the quest. Otherwise, you need to do the quest first. And then lastly, over in DZ East, we got gloves Targeted Loot, so you can get the 511 tactical Dark Zone exclusive gloves, the Death Grips. Now right here is what the Death Grips look like. 170k armor is what they always roll with, and that 10% armor on kill. I always roll it with crit hit chance or crit hit damage. Whatever you need to get at the crit hit chance cap, then go for crit hit damage usually. They go on other types of builds as well and gives you an extra 10% health. It's great with my Hunter's Fury build that I'll put in the top right card now. Otherwise, in DZ East today, you can also farm for the BTSU Data Gloves that grants overcharge to you or any ally with skill tier 6 by canceling or destroying your hive. Otherwise, let's now move on to the north side. Alright agents, north side Targeted Loot highlights. Starting off with the invaded missions this week, we got Camp White Oak, and then of course Jefferson Trade Center, American History Museum, and then District Union Arena is the stronghold, and then Tidal Basin last. For Camp White Oak today, we got skill attachments, and I ran this morning. It's probably in the gameplay footage in the beginning of this video. I don't recommend farming skill attachments. I recommend just getting them along the way. They're not really that important. And then for Seska over here at Coney Island Ballpark, it's really just for that 10% crit hit chance. If you're already at the cap or really close to 60%, then I don't ever recommend using Seska. I never do. But over here at Coney Island Amusement Park, we do have one of my favorite gear sets, Hunter's Fury. Great SMG and shotgun damage build, goes wonderful with the Dark Winter and the Scorpio. And I'll put an alternative Hunter's Fury build in the top right card now. That is 4 pieces of Hunter's Fury, a Sokolov chest piece with Obliterate or Intimidate, and then of course you want 3 armor cores, 4 weapon cores, and the skill tier you get from the Memento. And real quick, I wanted to mention, this is what a perfect Hunter's Fury drop looks like for me, is maxed out armor and maxed out crit hit damage or crit hit chance, because it already gives you so much damage from this Apex Predator that you really don't need a weapon damage core here in my opinion. I like to do the 3-4-1 stack. And then lastly on the north side, Manning National Zoo, we got assault rifles. So you got the Eagle Bearer, that's an exotic from the Dark Hours raid, and it's exclusive to that raid still. But the other 2 exotics that are ARs, the Chameleon with Adaptive Instincts and the Capacitor with Capacitance, those are not Dark Hour raid exclusive, so I recommend farming for those. You first need to get the Capacitor by completing 5 summit challenges, so do that first. Otherwise, you could straight up farm for the Chameleon. And then of course in the bottom left overlay, there's some named assault rifles. Now what I like is the Mechanical Animal of Future Perfection, the Burnout, and then of course the Test Subject with Perfect In Sync. And then of course Kenley College is closed, and the summit you pick your own targeted loot. So now let's go check out what we got on the west and east sides. Alright, Agents West Side Target Aloo highlights. Starting off with gear sets, we got Future Initiative at the Pentagon and Foundry Bulwark over here at Foggy Bottom area. Remember, both of these gear sets, their chest and backpacks, are raid exclusive to the Iron Horse raid, so always keep that in mind when you're farming for them. But no worries, because for Future Initiative, you know, if you don't have the chest or backpack, you could use an Alp Summit chest piece with Empathetic Resolve and a backpack with Safeguard instead. And then with Foundry Bulwark at Foggy Bottom, great tank gear set. If you don't have the chest and backpack, I recommend running the Emperor's Guard knee pads with 1% armor regen, and then throw on one piece of Bellstone Armory for extra armor regeneration. That's what you're looking for Foundry Bulwark builds. Next up, we got Hardwired at Bank HQ. I don't recommend this anymore. Its successor, Rigger, you can farm at Roosevelt Island today. It actually does give you instant cooldowns from canceling or destroying your own skill, so I definitely recommend that. And for a great turret and drone build, I'll put in the top right card now my favorite one, which is 3-piece Empress, 2-piece Hana Yu, and the Waveform holster. You're going to want kinetic momentum or glass cannon on the chest piece, and the force multiplier backpack with perfect combined arms. And you're going to run that with the capacitor, exotic assault rifle, and the Harmony is backup. Now you can farm Empress today at DCD HQ, super fast mission to run through, and remember it comes with 10% skill efficiency as its third, brand bonus piece. And for 10% skill efficiency, you're getting 10% skill damage, skill haste, skill repair, skill health, status effects, all that good stuff. And then lastly, we got Negotiator's Dilemma, Constitutional Hall. I'll put my double LMG build in the top right card now. That's 4 pieces of Negotiator's Dilemma, the Coyote's Mask, and then of course you can either use the Contractor's Gloves or 1 piece of Grupo Sombro Gloves, and I always run that with the Pestilence or the Bullet King. For normal target loot, we got Badger Tough at West End. You could farm the 0F's chest piece with Perfect Unbreakable. This is great for any DPS hybrid build. It gives you a lot of survivability on your chest piece, and you can add damage with like Vigilance on your backpack. And speaking of backpacks, we got Target Loot backpacks in Downtown West today. If you guys are looking for the Memento or the Acosta's Go Bag, the 2 exotic backpacks in this game, then you can farm these control points or activities here for those 2 items. I highly suggest the Memento for sure. Next up, we got Providence Defense over here at Potomac Event Center. You can farm for the Sacrifice of Perfect Glass Cannon, amplifying all damage you deal by 30%, but also amplifying all damage you get by 60%. It's a huge risk-reward factor, but it really goes really good on any DPS or skill damage build. And then next up, we got Douglas and Harding at West Potomac Park. You can of course farm for the Punch Drunk Mask with 20% headshot damage baked into it, and that goes great on any all high-end headshot damage build. Alp Summit's named backpack isn't really worth farming for the percussive maintenance. Araldo Holding at DARPA Research Labs, I always run that with weapon damage, weapon handling, and headshot damage. I never put crit hit chance or crit hit damage on my headshot damage build, and you want your headshot damage above 200%. Otherwise, that's about it for the west side. Let's go check out now what we got on the east side. Alright agents, east side target Aloo highlights. Starting off with gear sets, we got True Patriot at Judiciary Square. I will put my favorite SMG True Patriot build in the top right card now. Now that's going to be 4 pieces of True Patriot, a Sokolov chest piece with Intimidate, and the Memento backpack. I always run that with the Lady Death, and the Mop with 10% armor on kill on it. Next up, we got Aces and Eights at Grand Washington Hotel. I always tell you guys 3 pieces of Aces and Eights, 2 pieces of Araldo Holdings, 1 being a backpack with Vigilance or Composure, and the Chain Killer chest piece with Perfect Headhunter, and run that with the Mantis. That isn't a great headshot damage build. Next up, we got Ongoing Directive at Downtown East. There's 2 great bleed damage builds you could run, and I always run these with the Scorpio. And then of course the Carnage with Perfect Sadist. Those 2 are the best to run with these. The first one being Ridgeway's Pride, 4 pieces of Ongoing Directive, and the Anarchist Cookbook with Perfect Wicked, because the Eclipse Protocol backpack doesn't work alone anymore. And then the second one being 4 pieces of Ongoing Directive, a Badger Tough backpack with Creeping Death talent, and then of course the Vile Mask on it. We're running the Scorpio and the Carnage. And then we got Strikers over here at Viewpoint Museum today. I only recommend using 3 pieces for the increased rate of fire and weapon handling. The 4th is never worth it. For normal target loot, we got Bellstone at District Union Arena. Always remember the Liquid Engineer with Perfect Bloodsucker talent on it is a Dark Zone exclusive. You cannot farm for it outside of the Dark Zone. What you can farm for is the Everyday Carrier chest piece with Perfectly Efficient. I never use that though, so I never really recommend it. Next up, we got Shotguns at Jefferson Trade Center. Now, there's 2 exotic shotguns in this game, the Scorpio with Septic Shock and the Sweet Dreams with the Sandman talent. I highly recommend the Scorpio, which is rewarded at season level 55. The Sweet Dreams I haven't used since before Title Update 8 probably. And then of course the 4 best shotguns in this game that I recommend is the Mop with 10% armor on kill, the Rock and Roll shotgun with Perfectly Extra, which of course is a Dark Zone exclusive, and then the Custom Inmate 70 and the Marine Super 90, and I run Close and Personal as the talent on those. Next up we got Golan Gear at American History Museum, great for farming the Anarchist Cookbook with Perfect Wicked for that ongoing directive bleed damage build if you want to today. And then Hana Yu over here at Capitol Building Stronghold, you can farm that Force Multiplier backpack with Perfect Combined Arms, giving you 30% skill damage every 3 seconds that you land a hit on an enemy. Then we got Overlord over here at Jefferson Plaza. If you're looking for the Fox's Prayer knee pads with 8% damage to targets out of cover, I highly recommend every agent at least have 1 pair of these. And then holsters over here at Space Admin, you can farm 3 exotic holsters, the Waveform, which you unlock at season level 90, and then the Dodge City holster and the Imperial Dynasty holster. All 3 of those are really great. Next up we got Mask at Southwest. There's 2 exotics, Coyote's Mask and Vile Mask, Coyote's being for DPS builds, even in group, and then Vile for status effects and skill damage. And then lastly, we got knee pads at East Mall. Now, what I recommend is the 2 exotic knee pads, Ninja Bike Messenger and Sawyer's, but they're wildly different. With the Ninja Bike, it's for run and gun DPS builds, and then for the Sawyer's, it's for sniper builds or tank builds, really. And then of course Murakami at Federal Triangle if you need some extra skill duration on your turret and drone build. Otherwise, let's go check out now what we got on the New York City targeted loot list. Alright agents, last but not least, we're at New York City targeted loot highlights, and really I'm just going to skip Tip of the Spear. I never really recommend it, but we do have a close protocol at Pathway Park. I got my favorite fire damage build I'll put in the top right card now. That's going to be 4 pieces of Eclipse Protocol, the Imperial Dynasty holster, and 1 piece of Golan Gear for 10% status effects. And I always run that with the Stinger Hive and the Chem Launcher Fire Starter. Now, of course, the main highlight for today, other than the Dark Zones, is submachine guns at Battery Park. This is where you could farm for the 3 exotics, the Lady Death, Backfire, and Chatterbox. Although the Lady Death has a 3% chance to drop from the open world NYC bosses, so that's a 10% total chance of dropping if you're running the open world on Heroic and you're hitting the, open world NYC bosses over in this area. Otherwise, you can farm for the Safety Distance with Perfect Outsider and the Grudge with Perfect Vindictive. Those are the 2 named SMGs that drop outside of the Dark Zone. Next up, we got chess pieces at Liberty Island, 2 exotics, Ridgeway's Pride and Tardigrade. Tardigrade you could just straight up farm for. Ridgeway's Pride, you need to have completed the project first or have a teammate share it with you. And then Petrov over here at 2 Bridges, if you're looking for those Contractor's Gloves with 8% damage to armor, goes great on any LMG build, or if you're stacking damage to armor. Well agents, that is it for your daily farming guide today. If you enjoyed the video, consider pressing those subscribe and like buttons below, and if not, a thumbs down. If you would like to become a member for extra support and exclusive perks, you can click the join button below, and thank you to all my channel members. You really help me out with the extra support. And remember to always check the video description and pinned comments below for links to support my channel, Shadow Gaming merchandise, which I just came out with a whole new listing for my new logo, my Discord server, and my clan on all platforms, and a lot more. Take care agents, and be sure to stay tuned for more daily Division 2 content. This is Agent Shadow signing off. I will see you in the next video. Take care agents.